Yes, sir.
Welcome back to KingWoes Court. Episode 26 is inbound, and I have another fantastic special guest and a friend of mine from a long time ago. Please welcome to KingWoes Court, Tommy Buckley from Crowbar. How are you, my man?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to see you.
Absolutely. It's been, as I said, it's been too long, and I'd always put a smile on my face when I see it. You know what I mean? And you know that yourself. You know.
Yeah, man. Likewise.
Oh man, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you much to Stacey for organizing this. Fantastic, man.
Welcome.
Yeah.
He's
very well.
Thank you. So yeah, it's great to see you. How have you been keeping, man? How have you been keeping?
Man, I've been, we did a few live streams in the last, year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Now, I think we did like 2, maybe 3. One of them was opening for Clutch. I think another was by ourselves. We had a couple of opening bands, I think.
Yeah.
I think there was a third one we just did. I think that was the best one that we did.
I watched it. That was the best one, yeah.
What was cooler than that was we were like the first real live official band to play in New Orleans. We did 2 shows back to back on April 9th and 10th. And what happened was it was actually supposed to be just like a limited, head count, like 250 people, because of the COVID rules. Anyway, long story short, they ended up opening up to a full gig, and man, it was like it was crazy, dude. It was full blown both nights, and I was nervous as hell. We did great, man. Thank God that we're somewhat professional, that we could actually go out and maybe do these shows like with just a couple practices on our belt.
Yeah. I'd say it was a great feeling. Like we're all missing playing gigs and going to gigs, and so I'd say it was great to have a crowd.
Well, it's kicking off again, man. I'm hearing about a lot of tours and stuff, starting off. A lot of everyone's favorite bands, dude. I'm hearing a lot of stuff like Black Label Society, Megadeth. And, there's a lot of bands out there, dude, starting to pick it back. It's gonna be pretty crazy, dude, when it all opens up, because like there's gonna be every band on the Sun tour. It's gonna be like a buffet of bands on tour.
You gotta have a lot of dollar for that, man. You gotta have a lot of dollar for that, don't you?
No doubt, man. I don't know if I can do that anymore, man. I only go see my absolute favorite bands anymore. It's like this is coming again. It's like this the last one, so I really kind of was thinking about that, maybe. But other than that, it's like I don't really, it's got to be like a really good big band, and it's like most of the bands are like really big, incredible, like commercial, not commercial metal, but like well-known bands.
Yeah. Make the effort, like it's like we was gonna go and see the Sepultura tour with you. It's just for use, just to see Crowbar, because I'm not really. Don't get me wrong, I like Sepultura now, but I'm not really interested. So I would have gone to see Crowbar and just hung out at the bar or something,
Oh man, thank you, brother. Thank you. Well, for us, it's like for me, I know personally. It's like I'm like a kid in the candy store, because Sepultura was like always one of my favorite professional bands. Like for a time in my life, man, it was like in the late like '89. Like I got into Beneath the Remains. Dude, that was it. I was hooked. A Rock came out. I was waiting for the release of that album when it came out.
Oh, what an album!
And then what can you say about Chaos AD? I mean, Roots was great, and Chaos AD just like ripped your face off. And then Roots was like totally different, more tribal, but like every album that they did was so diverse, it was so diverse. But it was a pleasure when we found out that we were gonna get the Sepultura tour. I love it, dude. And those dudes are great, man. I actually got to play a song one night. It's on like a YouTube, a video, a couple videos, one from like way back by the mixing board, you can't really see it, and there's one from the stage my friend Kale from a band called Home for Apocalypse took. And he took that from his own camcorder, and dude, I got to play Slave New World.
Oh wow!
Oh my god, dude, it was like a dream come true.
That's awesome. That's like when I got up on stage with you for the end of Planets Collide. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, man.
In Belfast, that was.
Yeah, man. It was good. It was some
Um,
fun.
I'm trying to not be a little fanboy, you know what I mean?
Trust me, I'm like that myself with certain, people in bands and musicians. And dude,
Yeah.
I've met, a few of my favorite drummers over the last few years. Like, these are guys I used to listen to when I was in my parents' house
Yeah.
growing up in my bedroom. And I mean, I never thought I'd be playing some of these guys.
There you go. Tommy, take it right back from me and tell me how you got into drumming. Give us a little story there.
Well, I actually had a couple guitars at first. I had like a couple acoustic guitars, a little Strat, Fender Strat, and like I couldn't pick it up, man. And I had like it was just, I guess, too tedious for me, for my fingers or whatever to pick out. And so I ended up getting a drum kit when I was 3 years old, dude. For
No.
my grand. It didn't. It was a kick drum, a little small kick drum. I don't know. I can't even tell you what the size is. It had like the two straight legs,
Yeah.
and it had like the cymbal thing coming out of the kick drum, the pole. It was like one bar, like a pole with a cymbal on it, and it had one rack time that just slipped on the post. And there was no floor time at all. And I had a hi-hat. So like I used to play with my hands kind of like my hi-hat on my left hand, like this. Because I was scared to cross my arms. I thought I was gonna hit, So like a long time, man. I was kind of self-taught. So I played on that little kit, man, until I was like 12 years old. It got put up in the attic, and one day my mom and dad went out on a dinner thing, and my uncle was babysitting me, and I begged him to take the drums out of the attic. And dude, that was it. The rest was history. He took it out, and like I played my life, my brains, my heart out, dude. And I was basically self-taught. And my dad kind of went out and found a instructor for me. We went through like a high school drum corps teacher. He was a band teacher of a school called Brother Martin High School, but his name was Marty Hurley. And my dad found out about Marty Hurley, got his phone number some kind of way through the grapevine, and he called Marty, and Marty said, "Look, if you're looking for drum corps style of stuff, I'm your guy. But if you're looking for somebody else, like a drum set, trap set, whatever, playing," he goes, Ray Franson is your guy. So, dude, that was it. I ended up taking lessons from this guy by the name of Ray Franson, which is amazing. Drummer. He's graduated from Loyola University in New Orleans. He's got a degree. Dude, he's amazing. You can probably find him all over.
Yeah. Well,
but great instructor. Dude, what's crazy is he's actually taught 3 of the 5 Crowbar drummers.
No way.
Oh yeah, he's taught me. He's taught Craig Nunemacher, Stacy's brother, and he's taught Sid Muntz.
No way, Jesus.
Yeah.
So his history is in Crowbar just as much as anybody's.
Basically, man, I was just a kid, man, picking up on music in my bedroom and listening to things, and like, dude, when you're young like that, you're like a sponge and you're just absorbing everything,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I had a frigging God-given gift, dude. I think it was like a natural for me. I just picked up on it, and my parents saw that I was getting serious about it, and dude, they were like behind me, They
awesome.
like put to the lessons, and man, I was like in high school marching at like football games at halftime, out on the football field doing halftime shows, and you name it, I did it.
Brilliant.
I marched in the Mardi Gras parades with like a 15, 20-pound snare drums on your back for like 8 or 9 miles, dude. It's just, I look back on them going, oh yeah, man, I forgot about that. No wonder my body still ain't beat up.
Oh, you're well able for it, man. You're well able for it. I've seen you destroy that kit more times than not.
It's so funny because as you're saying that, I'm thinking about that. I try to destroy it every night, but it's like, some nights it gets to become a struggle, dude. When you're like, your clavicles are hurting, and your shoulder, like you got some kind of tennis elbow or tendonitis thing going in your forearms. Oh man, it gets pretty brutal some nights, man. And I seen a thing like with Neil Peart, whatever, from Rush. And he was like, man, he goes, basically that's why he was retiring. Basically, he's like, man, you don't know what's gonna be hurting on any given nights. It just takes turns hurting things parts of your body.
Jesus.
I always said it, man. I'm a lifer, dude. And once you get in, people like myself and that do this, they do it. Not only people try to do it for a living, but they do it because they enjoy it, have fun.
Yeah. So I presume Bonzo is your main man?
Well, you know what? He never always was, man. He kind of is now. Like, it's weird. I guess I'm getting old, so I'm picking up on the classic rock stuff, And I mean, it was always there, dude. I knew Bonham was always a great rock drummer,
Yeah.
Like rock blues drummer at that. I mean, it was all around. If you ask me, like what I liked about Bonham, like what I realized was like if he wanted to just destroy it, he could. But when he wanted to gracefully play, dude, he could be still and have all those grace notes there and everything. And it's amazing. And it took me a long time to realize how much of an influence that he had on rock and roll, like rock, classic rock, and metal drummers of all styles, dude, like all metal, death metal, thrash metal, speed metal, glam metal, whatever you want to call it, dude.
Yeah. Metal.
Everything. Yeah, man. He's like, but there's a lot more to it than that. I mean, when I was a kid, of course I was a Kiss freak, dude. I was a Kiss fanatic. So, like, and I'm not trying to say Peter Criss was not a good drummer because he was good for what he did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a John Bonham style player because I used to see the Kiss interviews. It was like Kiss was like, all right, why can't we get like this huge drum sound? But it's like because Peter Criss is not John Bonham, and he doesn't play like that dude does, barbaric style. But anyway, he's still a good drummer, solid drummer. Of course, Peter Criss influenced me because that was my band, dude. It was Kiss.
Yeah.
So when I got to be about, I don't know, 10, maybe 11 years old, it was like, Kiss kind of started fading for me a little bit around Dynasty. I liked it, but it was like they came back with the whole Creatures of the Night thing. I loved it, man. But for me, it was like AC/DC. So that became a whole new thing for me. This whole new world opened up, dude. Like Phil Rudd, I was like, holy shit, this dude can do everything by doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's amazing how great Phil Rudd is, and everybody knows that.
Maximum influence, minimum effort.
Every great drummer knows that because, dude, Phil Rudd's the man. But anyhow, so it went from like Kiss, AC/DC, and basically like, dude, that blew the doors wide open. Like it was everything else. I was like, listening to glam metal, dude. I was like Rat and Motley Crue and Dokken. Dude, that was like what was my bands, dude? Bobby Blotzer from Rat. Mick Brown from Dokken is a really good drummer.
Yeah.
And so, dude, Tommy Lee. I mean, come on, dude.
One of the best.
He's still, to this day, one of the most solid hitting, smashing, like professional drummers. And I just saw this thing on TV, man. It was like on Access TV of him playing with Melissa Etheridge or something. It was just him and her. You know what I'm saying? It was the most impressive thing I've ever, like, honestly, it was pretty impressive. Tommy Lee was like, it reminded me how professional, like, truly, and how much that he personally influenced me.
Yeah.
Drummers like Tommy Lee, and like later on, it was like Shannon Larkin from Godsmack, because dude, he's just one of those Bonham guys, and those guys like Tommy Lee that just goes out there. And Shannon's like, man, I got to meet him, and he's like, dude, I'm 130 pounds. I think Shannon says he was 115. We're both like toothpicks. Dude, he hits harder than me.
Jesus.
He comes out and he's like Tommy Lee, dude. Those dudes come out and they just smash it, they crash it, they destroy it, they bring it. And that was my whole thing when I went to do the Sever the Wicked Hand recording with Crowbar. Yeah. I had all these things in my mind about like how I wanted to play, and I wanted to play pay tribute, like respect to Craig Nunemacher and Jimmy Bauer.
Yeah.
Because they were the main two guys that were always there and like still sound like myself.
Yeah.
But then I had all these other influences like Bonham and Tommy Lee and Shannon Larkin. So like I just basically, dude, I was like, all right, relax, you got this. So for me, it was a whole new thing because coming out of Soylent Green, man, it's a whole different animal. I mean, it's both heavy as hell. One's like so extreme and the other one's so extreme doing it, and it's so crazy. I joke about this all the time, but the two bands that I played in and made a name for myself in, neither band does guitar solos.
No, that's true.
Neither one. But what's crazy is like with Soylent Green, the whole damn song's a guitar solo. The
Absolutely,
whole song.
it's like a marathon. I was only reacquainting myself with Soylent there over the last couple of days. Fuck me, what a legacy! In fairness, absolutely.
I never really even think about it. Sometimes I listen to it and realize how much of a whirlwind of a storm that shit is.
Could you still play that shit, man?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, dude. We fought tooth and nail, me and Brian Patton, dude, on a lot of those songs because it was like we just were headbutting and like headbutting. It was like it's so hard to even try to figure out some of those parts, man. And I like either I could learn a whole song in one day or a couple of days. Or it might take me one night to learn one riff.
Jesus, I have to say, my favorite
riff sometimes.
I think my favorite Soylent Green album is Confrontation. I love that album.
Cool, man. It's a good album. I was thinking about this the other day. They had a little feature on Soylent Green in Metal Maniacs. It was a U.S. magazine. It's no longer in publishing, but I still have the copies. They're really cool, man. They put us in there, and they actually came to the studio, and it was Eric Rattan from Hate Eternal and Morbid Angel.
Wow.
It was Eric Rattan's last recording in the house studio that he had. It was a house recording, dude. And we went in there and did that record. And that was our last album for Relapse Records. And then our next album, we were signed to Metal Blade. So when we did the next album, Inevitable Collapse in the Presence of Conviction, it was in his new studio. He had a big facility in Mana Recording out there in Tampa. And amazing, dude. It really is. But he got two, great sounds on both of those records. Great production.
That album's actually is very, very good. Like you said, there's a great sound to it. Like great production. And
music, dude, it is. You can't really, I guess, overproduce things. And I mean, I don't know. For me, I like really good, like well produced. Of
course, yeah.
Crank up the Metallica 590 ADP, like barely produced by Metallica. Dude, that shit's produced great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds better than Injustice for All because it's got bass on it.
Well, there you go. Do we ever see a new Soylent Green album coming? Are we done? Or
we just I dream about it all the time. I think maybe one day me and Brian Patton can get on the same page, and Ben Falgout, and hopefully our bass player Scott Crochet would still be in. He at one point he told me he couldn't really tour no more because of his job he was working. So that left that kind of like a real big question mark. Yeah. But like, I mean, who's to say that he still couldn't be our studio bass player and we could get somebody to tour with us?
Exactly.
But I mean, I think it's all possible, man. I mean, anything's possible. We're all still alive, but I think if we're gonna do it, it needs to happen like in the next year or two. So, next year, but there's a lot of things going on right now. Like obviously, there's a new Crowbar record. Mm-hmm. It's been recorded and sitting there, so it's just been there, man, for a year or at least longer. And we're just waiting. I'm waiting patiently, man. I'm excited about it. I want it to come out for everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time it comes out, it's old news to me. I don't listen to it. I'm burnt out on it. I don't even want to hear it again. I'm like, oh.
And you're gonna have to tour it now when it comes out.
Oh yeah, well, we only usually do like 1 or 2, no more than 3 songs off of the record anyway. So, it really ain't no sweat. Usually it boils down to that. But like of the last record, we were actually 2. I think it ended up we're only doing 1, but man,
But that last album was. I really enjoyed that last album.
really good. I think actually, dude, I like that album better than uh, Symmetry in Black. I think
Yeah.
that was it was overproduced and too triggered and digital. Like
Yeah.
real. For me, it was just too polished and commercial. Sound like the production was too much.
Yeah.
But Sever the Wicked Hand was very organic, and
Yeah.
I think Children Only Lies, we got back to it on that album.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that album.
I mean, dude, Symmetry in Black's a great record. It's got some great songs. But for me, it's my least favorite out of those 3 because of the production.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can hear that what you mean. Yeah.
I like I think, man, it's a close race between Sever the Wicked Hand on The Servant Only Lies, but I think Sever the Wicked Hand is my favorite because it was my first.
Your first, yeah.
I took a lot of things into consideration, like I was saying, when I went to go do that recording.
Yeah.
And even one of the things was like Shannon Larkin from Godsmack. I watched the DVD, The Making of the Oracle, and it was him doing the song, The Oracle, and it's an instrumental. And dude, he went in there and he did the drums. I'm pretty sure it was after the music was recorded because everything he was listening to it, playing along with it. And dude, he went there and he laid that down, dude. He smashed it, and I was like, wow, bro. And it was very influential, dude. It influenced me, and I took that as inspiration. And dude, it was like I even told him, I said, man, it was like hands down when I met him. But just things like that, dude. But nowadays I just try to like relax and be myself more than anything.
Yeah.
I feel like I developed into the more of the less is more style.
Yes.
As I'm getting older.
It's a very
my body's falling apart, dude. So trying to take it easy on it these days. That's why I'm gonna do Soylent Green. It's gotta be soon. But
that's understandable.
I'll tell you what, man, the new Crowbar is pretty impressive. It's I think it's a little different,
Okay.
I think it's got a little bit of a fresh sound, man. Some new surprises, some really cool like acoustic stuff, and a break in a song, a simple track, and really cool stuff, man. Kirk sings really good, like he does on the Symmetry in Symmetry in White track.
Yeah.
He's got some like smooth, But other than that, dude, the music's pretty heavy, man. And I'm always like our own worst critic when we're writing it. I'm like, dude, it feels like nothing. I feel like I'm doing nothing sometimes, but sometimes when you're doing nothing, that's the most effective parts, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You lock into that groove, and it's like goes back to what I was telling you, like the whole AC/DC thing, like Phil Rudd, man. You just get in, you lock in, and you just stay there, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But so excited for this album, man.
Dude, as a drummer, you just gotta feel that vibe and lock into it, man. For me, that's how it is personally. I'm sure for a lot of other drummers.
Oh yeah, I'm just dying for this album. I really am.
Dude, really good, man. Really, I think 10 good solid tracks, man. It's I feel like we've been doing pretty good, man. As old as we're getting now, I'm 56. So, but for being our age, dude, I think we're still bringing it pretty good, man. And I try to bring it, do every rehearsal, every recording, dude, everything I do, I try to bring it 100%, 110%.
Yeah.
And you try to bring it at the power that you did yesterday, but and you still have it right here, but sometimes right here, it's like, your body lets you know, it's like, all right, man, you got to take a little easy on yourself. But I think I found like a happy medium, dude, a way to play, to still like hit pretty solid, not over hit too hard, but still hit solid, not crack too many cymbals, not crack too many sticks, not split too many heads.
Yeah.
I think I found that happy medium, dude, of playing, and putting that extra little tilt on your cymbals and not hitting them straight on.
Yeah.
Dude, I was doing that for a long time, and I learned to tilt them a little more, and just because I did that, I started, making my cymbals last a little longer.
Deadly. I think are you now the longest serving Crowbar member outside of Kirk now?
I think, dude, I think I'm definitely the longest running drummer. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm about tied with Craig for recordings now because Craig
Yeah.
did, he did Obedience Through Suffering, Crowbar. I think he did Live Plus One, which is not
Live
a full.
EP. Yeah.
He did the first two, and then he did Tom Hill's Nothing, the third full length, and then he did. Came
Like,
back years later and did Life's Love of the Downfall. So that was 4 records, dude, for Craig. So
yeah.
this is my fourth one. So I think me and Craig tied for like the records, the recordings, and
You're the drummer now, man. You are the fucking drummer.
years, man. I definitely hold the title. I've been in there for like I think 16, 17 years now. So I mean, dude, look, I always joke with Kurt. I'm like, dude, we're like the Mickey D and Lemmy of New Orleans,
Yeah.
dude. We just keep going, dude. You just gotta keep going, putting out the albums, man. Try to make them heavier and better every album, dude,
Yeah.
and better productions and like, dude, I want it to sound bigger every album. I was like, dude, it's gotta be bigger.
Absolutely. Well, you have. I mean, you guys have the sound to make it bigger. You know what I mean?
I just wanted to sound like a huge sound. I mean, it's Crowbar, dude. You gotta have a wall of sound for Crowbar.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And not only that, dude, it's like, you take pride in your recordings and you want them to sound good. But once you put them down and you lay them down, they're set in stone forever, man. They're like trophies in a glass cabinet.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. You can't change them. That's it, So you got to make sure it counts, man, when you're doing it.
Absolutely. Probably, I'd say you can relate to this now. When you're looking at you're playing with a band and you look at them doing their sound check, that's when you see them at their purest, isn't it? Really. I mean, when we saw you sound check and it was just like, holy fuck. We used to play with them. What the fuck?
You're not under pressure. You don't have really anybody in the room. You got maybe a couple friends or a few people that work at the club, the venue you're playing at, something like that. So it's a little more laid back, that's for sure. So, sometimes you catch a little bit different vibe, at the sound check live.
I remember we were playing with Spirit Caravan a few years ago. And
the band's amazing.
Amazing. But we were playing and we were watching their sound check and we were just like, we were floored by their fucking sound check. It was just three guys making that much fucking noise. Wow.
Yeah, Wanda's got some really good bands, dude. The Obsessed was really good too, man. I'm good friends with Brian, the drummer.
Good drummer, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. He and I are two Ludwig freaks. We got into the whole Ludwig thing in the last few years, man. So a couple of Ludwig kits now. So, but I used them for a couple live shows, and like Kirk don't like it because I got a Vista like get a Amber, like the orange kit, but they call it Amber. But and then I didn't cut the hole in the front head and put the mic in it, so we just like mic'd it from the front and the back. And he was like, "Dude, you gotta cut the hole in the front." I don't use it unless I change out the front head because I have like a custom head on it. It's like a clear head with a silver dot, and we made like a little Bonham sticker to put into the silver dot. So it's like my own little twist on the Bonham kit because my kick drums are 24, it's not a 26, but it just happened to be what was available to me at that time. I saw it and I wanted to get it, so I got it while it was available.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have a 26 and a green sparkle, dude, a Bonham green sparkle.
Nice.
I got that's the real deal, man. And recently I just went to the studio and recorded tracks, dude, for the levee breaks, when the levee breaks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we doing this. I don't even know what it's gonna be on or what, but I came up with this idea to do it. Kirk was like, "Yeah, I think it would be cool." And then we talked to the label, and they were like, "Yeah, whatever." So I went and did it in the legendary studio in the country. That's the name of it. Studio in the country in Bogalusa, Louisiana, which is like pretty legendary, man. Like Kansas recorded Left Overture album, that Carry On Wayward Son.
Oh, deadly.
And there's a lot of other albums that they have some gold platinum albums hanging in the studio that were recorded there. Marilyn Manson, I think Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Wow.
some other stuff. Anyway, we went in there, dude. I just went in and like a take and a half, dude. Not even 2 takes. I went in and laid it down and just played along with the song with a click track and just nailed it, dude.
Yeah.
I messed up about halfway through the first one and then the whole way through. Man, that's like a 7-minute song. Just
Fair
went
play.
in and came out great, dude. It gave me goosebumps because it actually sounded like the real drum sound that Bonham got because it was the same kit.
Setup, yeah.
Just went there and hit as hard as I could when I did it. We had all the same miking, dude, like overhead and by the floor time. It was the whole room miking thing we did, like the whole tricks with the older mics. So we try to get the real deal sound, and I think we got pretty dang close to it because when I walked out of the room and I walked back in the control room, they were playing the playback of my tracks, and I thought it was the Bonham isolated drum track.
Oh, wow.
Like, holy crap. And they're like, no, dude, that's your tracks. I was like, wow.
I can't wait to hear that, man.
To see when we can finally release that to the world, dude, that everybody can hear that, man. It's pretty amazing. I'll tell you that because I know my drum tracks came out sounding almost exactly like the real Bonham sound. And that's pretty hard to achieve. I know a lot of people try to get that, but I think we nailed it pretty close, man.
Absolutely. I can't wait to fucking hear that, Tom.
Yeah, dude, it's good, man.
Tom, tell me some of the bands that you've enjoyed playing gigs with, touring with. Give me a couple.
Touring? We toured with some really good bands over the years, man. With Soylent Green over the years, I toured so many bands. And Crowbar, man, I could go off and just start naming bands like Testament and Pantera and Anthrax and Suicidal Tendencies and Prong and Helmet, War, Overkill, dude. It's been like quite the ride, bro. That's for sure. But like you never, like I said, when you're a kid growing up in your parents' house in the bedroom playing, you never think, for once that you might be playing with these guys. Yeah. That's crazy, man. I actually know like Charlie Benante and friends with Charlie, I got time all the time, but like, see him out on tour, say hi. I met him through Phil Anselmo when we were playing with Soylent Green and Cold Chamber and Anthrax and Pantera. We did some shows back in '97.
Nice.
One tour.
Jeez, I'd say that was some tour.
But yeah, dude, like Gene Hoglan,
what a drummer.
Gene's a sweetheart, dude. He's such a nice guy. He's like a big beast, and he's such a nice dude, man. When you meet him,
Yeah.
But he's such even more of a beast on drums when he gets back behind the kit, dude. He's the standard, dude. I think everybody. Charlie Benante, like Dave Lombardo too, man. I got to meet Dave Lombardo at a festival, and I got to meet Mickey D. Dude, second time.
Wow.
But that's one of my favorite drummers, man. And I got to meet all those guys, man. I meet them at the festivals and stuff like that. Mickey D was so great, man.
I'd love to meet him. Actually, he's a beast, isn't he? He's a beast of a drummer.
Yeah, man, that's another guy like I kind of took my style from was like Mickey D, like Tommy Lee, Shannon Logan, John Bonham. Dude, you know what? Believe it or not, Frankie Benally from Quiet Riot is another.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a big time like heavy Bonham, influence player, and he was like a heavy influence on me. But I took a lot of stuff from Frankie Benally style of playing too, man. It was like I like those powerhouse players, dude. But at the same time, I like technical kind of players too, like Nico McBrain and
what a drummer.
I was a big Alex Van Halen fan. Dude, I could go on, man. I have so many people that like really, really left an impression.
Yeah, I love Lombardo is like Slayer and Crowbar are my favorite bands. Simple as. So
Slayer in 1994, 95, I think it was.
You played with them?
No. I actually did. I played. Well, what's crazy is I'll make this short and sweet as I can. I actually tried out for Machine Head in 1994, dude. I got a call from Borivor Kurgan, and I went out. I believe that's how his name is pronounced. And I went out and I did it, dude. I borrowed him some money from my dad. I got a flight in like record timing. I learned almost the whole first Burn My Eyes album.
Oh, wow.
tried out. There was a lot of drummers that tried, man. I know one of my good friends, Chris Hamilton, tried out. And, some people from the local area, like the drummer for 40 Grit in San Francisco. I met a few people that actually did that audition, as well as myself. And Dave McLean ended up getting that gig, But so anyway, the craziest thing happened not long after I actually went out there and tried out and did the audition with Machine Head. I got a call, dude, from Craig Nunemacher from Crowbar. And he's like, he goes, dude, you're a hard person to get in touch with. He goes, I've been trying to get your phone number for like weeks. He goes, I couldn't find nobody that knew how to get in touch with you. And he goes, man, are you sitting down? I'm like, what are you talking about? Sitting down. He's like, dude, he's like, are you ready for this? And I started getting nervous. I was like, dude, tell me now. And he's like, man, Slayer wants you to go audition for him. I'm like, what? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So what happened was, it was either Lombardo was out, Bostad was in, Lombardo was out, Bostad. Yeah. Dude, it got to be like musical chairs with those two drummers with Slayer. Yeah. But what happened was, right in the middle of that switching drummers with Lombardo and Bostad, there was John Deet, Daddy John Deet.
Yeah.
He actually got in. He got the gig, dude. But I had all I had at the time to offer them was the Soylent Green Pussy Soul CD or cassette, whatever I gave him. It was and I gave him the I think it was like a recorded blank tape of String of Lies, 3 songs that we did. It wasn't even out yet, man. Wow. I think sent them that, and they got it, and they were like, man, really impressive, drumming, great drum tracks, all this shit. But we already chose someone for the job, and I was like, oh wow, okay, but, dude, it was very flattering, dude, that I got considered.
Yeah, absolutely. I never knew that, man. That's a great story.
Greg was like, hey man, he's like, look, he goes, I got a phone number for you, and I want you to write this phone number down. And he goes, you can call it, and it's Rick's sales management. It's Slayer's management. That was like setting up audition through Slayer's management, dude. Wow. It was crazy. Yeah, man, it never happened, but it was a cool thought, and man, that's like a big thing for me, dude. My career.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Auditioned for Machine Head and almost getting an audition for Slayer, and I mean, dude, Soylent Green got to open for Pantera on tour a couple times. We did on 3 shows on Trendkill tour with Soylent Green, Clutch, and Pantera for 3 nights. And that 3rd night was in Dallas, dude, the arena, in that home, arena, dude. It was great. Sold out, of course. And then we played 3 shows in Florida and 1 show in Biloxi, Mississippi, in Mississippi Coast Coliseum, dude, which I've seen some of my favorite bands there: Judas Priest, Metallica, Kiss, Ozzy and Sepultura. Yeah. Dude, I've seen so many concerts there, and then there I was playing in there with Pantera and Anthrax.
Wow.
But that's how I got to meet Charlie, because I mean, we did some pretty big things, man. But Soylent Green got on the Squidbillies cartoon.
Oh yeah.
And then, dude, we got to play the Beast Feast in 2001. Soylent Green went to Yokohama Arena and played Beast Feast.
Wow.
And from what I understand, it only happened 2 years. It happened in 2001, and they did it again in 2002. And that was it. They never did it again. And, dude, we got fortunate enough to play there. On the second night, the second day we played with Pantera headline and Machine Head, and there was Biohazard and Morbid and Soylent Green. Dude, it was crazy. It was so heavy. And the day before, I think the 2 headlining bands were Sepultura and Slayer.
Wow.
But dude, Dillinger, Escape Plan. It was like even Static X played, dude. Kitty. It was some Japanese metal bands, the Asian metal bands, like Yellow Machine Gun and Diablo, Coco Bat. It was a lot of it was some cool bands, dude. It was like 31 bands in 2 days.
That sounds awesome, yeah.
I mean, dude, I'm pretty happy with the things I've done, man. I'll tell you, dude. I always joke around, like if I've never done another thing, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with the things I've done, man. I've done, I don't think I've made it as far as like not having to get up and go work.
Yeah.
made it, but like I made it as far as got to see some beautiful parts of the world, man.
Yeah.
So,
and that's sometimes it's more. I'm sure it's satisfying as anything else. Like
everything, man. It's the good Lord above, and it's yourself pulling your way there, and the hands of fate, and it's all in the cards, man. And it's like it's either you're made out for this or you're not.
Yeah.
Because dude, I tell you, anybody that thinks they get on the road, it's a tough gig, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta be a wall of steel sometimes, because you ain't supposed to be sick, and you ain't supposed to be feeling bad, and you can't call in sick, dude. You gotta go in every night.
Gotta do it.
And we've done like 24 shows in a row, probably.
Jesus, that's tough going. That is tough going.
Brutal. But it's fun, man. I enjoy doing it. I think at that point I didn't even think about it, man. Like I think on the 23rd show, maybe I was like, oh God, I was starting to feel it. But like then I was really thinking about it. I was like, wow, man, I can't believe we just did that. But yeah, man, I think don't quote me on that. It was like 21, 24 shows in a row, dude. We did.
Jesus, once you're hitting 20, man, that's a lot.
In Europe or in the States, but dude, that was a rough run. I don't even remember who were headlining or who were opening for somebody. Two of them robots in that tour, man. I don't even know like how bands like Metallica could do it. Well, I mean, they do it because that shit's not a tour; it's a magic carpet ride.
Yes.
And dude, staying in Ritz Carltons and the nice tour buses. But for bands like us being our level, man, I tell you, dude, we're lucky to have done and seen the things we have because. I mean, we're an underground metal band, dude. It's like, I don't think we'll blow up anytime overnight soon. Biggest 30+ year overnight success ever if that does happen.
Yeah. But I think bands like yourselves really appreciate the passion that your fans have for you, though.
Man.
Really, and anytime I've seen you guys, and I've said this to Kirk, you're always, every one of you are so respectful to your fans, and I think we all really appreciate that.
I mean, we're fans too, so I know how it is, dude. I got all my favorite bands, and like you said, I try not to fanboy out when I meet people. Like when I met Shannon from Godsmack, dude, he was so cool and down to earth. One of my favorite drummers, dude. It was another one of my favorite drummers I got to meet. And but yeah, man, just try to stay humble, man. Bring it, you can't forget where you came from.
Absolutely.
We're not, people sometimes think you're bigger than what you are. But, it's funny, but, we're all regular people, dude. We all get up and get out of bed and tie our shoestrings or whatever the hell you do, just like everybody else, like every other human being on the face of the earth,
Absolutely. Tom, I'm going to let you go in a minute. You've been very, very kind doing this for me today. I have to say, thank you so much.
Not a problem, man.
But before we go, I'm going to throw some of rock and metal's frontmen at you, and you can just give me one word to describe what you think, okay? All right? Just quick fire. What?
The rock and metal frontmen?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So, Henry Rollins.
Henry Rollins. Wow, that's a good one already to start with because, dude, one word you said, right?
I did.
All right. Well, I have to say this. I have a lot of respect for Henry Rollins, so I'd have to say respect.
Respect. Okay, that works.
But all the things he's done, the spoken word gigs, and he's really, I think he's a very intelligent guy, and the body of work he's done, and I respect him for that, and so that's the first word that comes to mind.
Respect. What about Bruce Dickinson?
Oh my God. I mean, I'll just say amazing because it's one of my favorite vocalists, and I heard Bruce Dickinson through the Samson album. It was like something Tactics and Head On, but something like, anyway, it was like Head Tactics was the CD, the
Right.
cassette tape. They took like half of that album and half of the other album, and they put them together to make Head Tactics with like two players. So anyway, I heard that and I realized how amazing Bruce Dickinson was. But I had actually heard probably Peace of Mind. Well, no, you know what? I think I heard Number of the Beast first, but Peace of Mind was the first Maiden album that I got. So it literally blew my doors off, man. Flight of Icarus. And then, you know, I went back on Number of the Beast, and then the Saints and stuff was just, it was mind blowing, dude. So that's amazing.
Amazing.
Pretty,
okay, I'll give you one more, and
right.
you're probably gonna give me a similar kind of thing. Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, you hit me with some good ones.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Oh God, dude. Let's see. I'll say this. I think that's irreplaceable for real.
Yeah, absolutely, and you've hit the nail on the head there. Absolutely.
Dude, there's nobody had a voice like Ronnie, and I don't think there ever will be.
No.
You know, he was like a 5 foot tall, whatever, 5'2", like short. You know, time bomb, dude. Like just bringing it, dude. Just exploding everything on the stage.
Yeah.
You know, and like he did it all the way to the end, man. He just, you know, I saw him on the Killing the Dragon tour with like, I think it was Simon Wright on drums that played with
AC/DC, yeah.
Rich that played with White Snake on guitar, and it was Rudy on bass that played with like everybody. Wow. You know, and dude, I tell you what, it's pretty amazing. He was still great, man. You know, and it hurt to find out that he passed when we were out on the road, I think, on a Seven of the Wicked Hand tour, or maybe writing that album or playing some shows on the road. But yeah, man, that's definitely irreplaceable is the word.
Excellent. I think that was it's I love hearing people's take on different frontmen, you know.
Yeah, man, definitely, dude, definitely. He was definitely unreplaceable, but there's a few other singers I think that are like that too, though, man. You know, personally, like some of my other favorite vocals, like Rob Halford, man. You know, Halford's one of those guys. You know, he's just, dude, he's one of the best, man.
He is,
you know?
yeah.
Dude, even Ozzy, man. Ozzy's got that, you know, that nasally, unique voice. Nobody sounds like Ozzy, you know, except Zakk Wylde.
Oh. Come here, will you, if you see Zakk Wylde, will you tell him to stop doing that, for fuck's sake?
He'd kill me, dude. If I only met him once, dude. Craig, I seen him on the Ozfest, and I ran into Craig, and he and I, you know, had a little hug, and then he comes back in the background, so he introduced me to Zakk. He like to crush my hand, dude. He shook my hand.
He's a monster, isn't he?
I'd do it again if I ever got to meet him.
Listen, Tommy, it's been an absolute pleasure to spend some time with you, and I mean, maybe we can do it again sometime.
Hell yeah, anytime you like, man. I hope that, you know, we can get that Crowbar album out to everybody soon, dude. I don't think it's gonna be probably until early next year, but you know, when the time is right, dude, it'll be out. But nonetheless, it's there waiting, and it's gonna be released soon, man. Hopefully, next few months.
Great, I can't wait to hear it. And
dude.
Listen, it's been fantastic, and again, a shout out to Stacey for getting this all together. She's a good one.
Oh yeah, definitely amazing, man. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Well, you just hang on there for a minute. And KingWoes Court, we are getting out of here now. Tommy, say goodbye, my man.
Hell yeah, brother.
Goodbye. We're out of here.
Now.